Mindset. Many of you have misconceptions about mindset. Maybe you just inherited something that people pass along in your organization saying it's not that important, not that big of a deal, or anybody has a good mindset. We're going to debunk some of the top myths that salespeople have about mindset and help you to get the proper thinking in place so that you can build the right mindset so you can make more money. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist podcast. I'm your host, Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist, and I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And on this episode, we're going to talk about the 5 myths that most salespeople have when it comes towards mindset and how we can debunk some of those myths and help you to make sure you're focusing on the right things. It's going to be good. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I ask you to go ahead and hit subscribe. Now, as we're starting off the new year, we're focusing on mindset. You're going to get some more episodes coming after this one that focus and give you more tactical things when it comes towards building a mindset. But I did want to do this episode to help debunk some of the myths that people have about mindset. There are 5 things that I have written down here. The first one, mindset is just a soft skill and can't really be proven for result. Ooh, we got some good stuff on that one. I don't need mindset. I can just hustle and implement the tactics. And there's some truth to that, but we're going to go through and give a whole bunch. I have a bunch of research on that one. And then myth number 3, I don't need mindset training to help me strengthen my mind. Number 4, mindsets are an either or proposition. And I don't believe that to be true. And I'll share with you why. And then anyone can do anything idea. The first one, mindset training is just like, motivational talks and, pep talks and getting you all pumped up. And in some ways, mindset does have some elements towards that. But if you really think about it, it's like the way that you think is going to directly interact or directly correlate to the way that you perform. So yes, motivational things are cool and are important. I love my Eric Thomas. I love some Les Brown. I love some TD Jakes. I love some Tony Robbins. All of these people, Mel Brown, Mel Robbins, all these people, they all have all kinds of good stuff. And they get you all pumped up and excited. And yes, their stuff is a little bit of the roo-roo, rah-rah. But the truth is, those roo-roo and rah-rahs help you to perform. If you go back and look at like some of the best athletes in the world, it's a reason why their coaches give them those pep talks. They're pepping them up. They're getting them pumped up so that they can go and perform. Because once your mind is at a certain game level, your performance will follow as a result of that. If you don't have the mindset, you're gonna go. If you don't have a proper mindset and you have this negative thinking, you're gonna go into that game negatively feeling that or in your sales performance, negatively believing that you're not gonna perform well. You're not going to close the deal. You're not going to get right prospects. You're not going to get any money. You're not going to get in touch with anyone. That's going to effectively impact your behavior. So we want to make sure you change that. But it is more than just like the roo-roo rah-rah. It's more than just the pep talk and motivation. That is some element to it. But mindset goes even deeper than that. It is the way that you're thinking. It's the way that you see yourself, the way that you view your individual performance. Those are some of the components of mindset. And the first myth is that that's not true per se, that it's only motivation. There's way more to that. Motivation, way more to mindset than just motivational talks. Anyone can listen to those talks, but those talks, to make them stay and to last so you can continue and consistently perform, it requires you to have the proper mindset. Point number 2, I don't need mindset. I can just hustle and implement tactics. And I know some of you out there, you're listening to some podcasts that they do rag on mindset. And they're like, we're all about the tactics and we're all about this. And that is, I have no quarrels against that because I've been there and I've done that. But here's what I've seen is that once you get to a certain level, hustling is, you only can hustle so much. And you can see that your hustle becomes like, it starts to taper off, or you find a limited level. Let me give you an example, and you've all seen this before. You work in companies where you're working with a team, and you're seeing people on this team who've been like, they've been around for like 20 years, and they know how to perform. They're some of the top performers on the team. However, they become like complacent and they plateau. They're not increasing. They're not getting any more bigger deals. They just come and they get their commission, and they are done, and they move on. And if that's what you want, that's fine. But I've found that people who like shatter records, who become who get promoted to higher responsibilities and maybe you don't want more responsibilities, but they get to the higher level. They're the ones that, industry leading sales professionals. They're the ones that's recognized by, big magazines and recognized for their efforts and the way that they perform. Those people tend to realize that they need more than just tactical confidence to perform well. They need to get the mindset, because you're going to find it where you start performing well. If you're brand new to sales and you're hustling and you're listening to videos and watching videos, listening to podcasts like this and reading books, and you take all this stuff and you apply it, great. Learn the tactics. But there comes a point, as I mentioned, tactic becomes it just becomes outdated or becomes blah. You need to add more to it, and that's where a mindset component comes on. Number 3, the myth is I don't need mindset training to help me strengthen my mind. So here's what the reality. You could be the most mentally tough person that you know. However, there's always some other level that you can get to. Go back to these athletes. Some of these athletes may have 2 championships and they want to get to that 3rd championship or 4th or 5th championship level. There's always a level that you can improve and get to. Now, some of you are making good money in sales and you're thinking, I don't need to get any better. Maybe I'm hitting my quota. Maybe you're not hitting double, getting bonuses, but you're hitting your president's club and that's fine for you, but you're not trying to strive. Could you have doubled your quota? Could you have surpassed what the company has set? And yeah, it could be. But maybe you don't want to do that because you're, for whatever reason, maybe some political reasons, because then next year you're going to be in the hole with your pipeline, whatever it is. But the thing about it though, is that too many of us we sell ourselves too short, and we can do so much better. We can perform so much better at a way higher level. And that comes down to the way that we think and the way that we behave. So always recognize that you can get to a higher level. Even if the level you are at right now is good, think about how you can get even better. How you can get great. And that's the power of the effective mindset. Number 4, the mindset are either or. So you might find some people who say, go back to Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, and she talks about this idea of the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. And some people might think, well, I'm either a fixed mindset person or I'm a growth mindset person. And the truth is, it's not necessarily the case of one or the other. I mean, we have both of those scenarios. Go back to the subconscious and the conscious mind. We are battling every single day. You are trying to figure out trying to overcome the negative thinking that's in your brain based on your rejection from your last phone call that you had, last week. That's playing in your brain over and over again. You're trying to change that. So even though you have a growth mindset right now, you still have struggle with that fixed mindset that's telling you can't do it. So you're balancing and you're trying to fight through that. That's the beauty of this whole thing, is that every single day we're trying to maneuver and to get control. The people who give up and say that these things don't work, they're just settling in a fix. But people who are trying, they're not just settling, they're trying. And though they may fall short, they're continuing to improve day in and day out. And there, my friend, is a key component. That's the power of an effective mindset. It's not either or, it's you're practicing every single day so you can get to the better growth mindset. And the final myth is that anyone can do anything. Well, you may believe that, and I'm not saying I'm being pessimistic. Yes, we can all have the positive thinking, but the reality is that everyone can't do everything. Think about it. I can't grow wings in my body. I can't, no matter how much I think about it, I can't grow wings and fly to space. It just is impossible, right? But there are different ways that I can go about getting to space, and maybe I can use a jetpack eventually. But the point right now is that type of thinking is impossible to just be able to grow biologically grow wings and to fly to space. No way. Think about this in that same vein. If a basketball player, the likelihood of me making it into the NBA, bro, that's going to be a really tough idea. I'm a 5'9", 5'10" on a good day guy. Most NBA athletes are a little bit taller than that. You got to be, around a 6 foot level and so forth. And there's reasons why those people perform so much better. I'm 37 years old. And yes, could I get into the NBA? I possibly could, but it's a young person sport. My knee's probably not going to be his best for that. So there are things that I can't necessarily do, or it may be way harder or more difficult for me to do. It doesn't mean that I have a bad mindset. It just means that there's certain things that I can't do, but I can do certain other things. Like, say, for instance, I have control over, maybe it's like prospecting or becoming a great sales professional. Those things I do have control over. I could do things to make my performance improve on that. And it really comes back down to the way that I think, the way that I behave, and the way that I act. Man, I'm telling you, if you're just thinking, I want to go back to this idea. Think about the 1% talent and then the 99% hard work adage that implies that anything can be achieved if they just work hard enough. The truth is, human beings have limits. And I think that's a critical component. We do have certain limits, and we can understand what those limits are, but we can also get past some of those limits that we perceive or we set. The perceived limits, such as that I can't make a cold call or I can't get in touch with that prospect. Yeah, those are perceived limits. And those are things that we set for ourselves. They're not like biological limits or not like gravity or law of nature limits. We can break past those. And I think that's where most of us fall when it comes to word sales professional. I hope this was helpful for you. Hope this was able to help you to recognize and to understand how you can create the right mindset as we go into 2022 and as we go into these episodes with some of our guests. I know you're going to love it. As always, I share stuff like this because I want you to succeed and thrive. I want you to find more of your ideal customers. I want you to know what to say when you reach out to them. I want you to close more deals. But most importantly, I want you to raise your level of thinking and go out and do big things.